What's the most powerful manifesting force on the planet? Is it vibration? Visualization? Gratitude? It's words. Words and the energy they evoke are how we connect what's in our minds to the universe. Without words and their vibration, we can't communicate and receive from an abundant universe what we need. Not all words are created equal, though. Some words will manifest new realities at will, like this ancient manifestation script. From a 2,000-year-old Egyptian book believed to have been lost for centuries, this ancient manifestation script is the fastest and easiest manifestation method. It can be dangerous in the wrong hands, has been passed down through the centuries by the Illuminati, the Freemasons. Some say it's even been spotted on the desks of some of the members of economic forums in Switzerland, where elites gather in secret to control world events. You won't find this ancient manifestation script online. You can't Google it or find it on the dark web. If you've tried everything to manifest the life you want, and nothing works, I guarantee you this ancient Egyptian manifestation script has the power to multiply your capacity to attract money, reveal amazing hidden opportunities, seduce the universe to pave a golden pathway for you, without you having to risk a penny of your own money. I know it sounds unbelievable, but I'll prove every word in just a few minutes. 10,876 students of mine in 13 different countries so far have used this manifestation script to attract lives of unlimited abundance. In fairness to them, I can only leave this short presentation up for a limited time. It doesn't matter if you're struggling to survive on credit cards, if you're broke or bankrupt, or if you bought every manifestation product you could get your hands on and nothing has worked. Because the law of attraction, affirmations, vision boards, and other modern manifestation methods have nothing to do with this, they are simply a cheap knockoff of this ancient script, with a tiny fraction of its hidden power. What's inside you right now holds the key to having everything you ever dreamed of. This manifestation script will activate a tiny little known pine cone-sized part of your brain that is the key to effortlessly attracting beautiful homes, generous bank accounts, luxury cars, traveling the world in style. My story may make you angry and sad, because you'll see, perhaps for the first time, how the elites have hidden this powerful manifesting tool for centuries because of their greed. The script turned my life around when I needed it most. It will turn your life around too, and help you create the life you were meant to live, so you can be your true self. Live a life of financial abundance, where you effortlessly overcome all obstacles in your way, and opportunities knock on your door for a change. The elites have been using this ancient manifesting script to alter their destinies for centuries. Now it's your turn. It will alter the nature of what you call reality. And a quick word of warning: if you only care about yourself and not your community or helping others, click away now. This is not for you. It's no accident you're here right now. The fact you're here now means a transformation has already happened within you, and you are now ready to live a life of abundance. I'll show you how in the next few minutes. So you might be wondering, who am I to promise you these impossible dreams? The truth is, I'm nothing special. My name is Lucas Carter, and even though money flows to me effortlessly today, providing me with multiple gleaming cars and stunning vacation homes, before this sacred ancient script came into my life, I was approaching my 40s as a man beaten down by the weight of my problems, trapped in a cycle of constant struggle for money. Sure, on the outside, on social media, my life looked okay, full of fancy meals out and weekend breaks. But behind the scenes, bills were piling up like an unwanted stack of bricks. I was plagued with money worries. It was not supposed to be like this, I thought to myself. Always struggling on the financial hamster wheel just to cover the essentials. Any money I did manage to save would get swallowed up by some unexpected medical bill or car repair. Then I got thrown a curveball on a cold Monday morning. I was knee-deep in the trenches of a godforsaken sales job I'd been doing for 10 years, grinding away day in and day out. Then out of the blue came the gut punch. Called into the manager's office and handed a pink slip like it was candy on Halloween. Told my services were no longer needed. I had less than $500 in my bank account and was relying on that month's salary to cover my rent. There was not much time to feel sorry for myself, though. This was just the first of 3 disasters that were coming my way that month. Later that week, my girlfriend Linda said we needed to talk. It's never good when you hear those words. It turns out she didn't feel the way I did about our relationship. She just didn't see a future with me. I found out a week later she'd been cheating on me with a friend of mine, Steve. She later told me he was going places in life and I wasn't. I felt broken inside, but life was to deal me yet another blow a month later. I'd fallen behind on the rent, but thought I still had a few months before the landlord could start eviction proceedings. I was wrong. Rock bottom hit me like a ton of bricks on a frosty, unforgiving night 3 weeks later. Evicted from my apartment, my belongings scattered on the sidewalk like the remnants of a life left behind. Abandoned and betrayed, life started to slip through my fingers. I spent my days like a lost soul wandering the streets. My evenings sleeping in my car, the one possession I had left in the world. Now call it fate or just dumb luck. But one day at a local food bank, my life took a turn I was not expecting. A man met my gaze in the line for food, but it didn't seem like he belonged there. He was distinguished, late 60s, with slicked back silver hair, well-dressed in a sharp-looking fitted gray suit. "You look hungry," he said. "Everyone here is hungry," I muttered back. "Yes," he said, "but you look hungry for something more than just food." "My name is Michael. Come with me. Forget the slop they serve here. Let's go somewhere good to eat." My treat. Although I was nervous, I thought, what the hell? My luck could not get any worse. 2 minutes later, we were riding in his stunning black Mercedes. Soon we were seated on the rooftop of the best Michelin star restaurant in town. I even spotted a few celebrities at different tables. Michael had kindness in his eyes, a warmth and generosity I was not used to. It was like his gaze pierced right through me into my soul. His look told me he understood my troubles at a glance. I think it was the non-judgmental aura he had that helped me open up. My emotional walls came crashing down and it all came spilling out. All the losses I'd suffered, my job, my girlfriend, my home, all gone. "You remind me of me," Michael said. "Me 20 years ago. You have that same look in your eyes. Like you have lost everything and have nothing left to lose." My mind was burning up with curiosity. I had to ask. "Clearly, you have money today. You're successful. What happened?" A warm smile came across Michael's face. "The good news, my friend, is when you've lost everything, you are finally ready to learn the greatest lessons of all. The lessons life keeps secret for most people and only reveals to seekers like us. Because we desperately need the answers." Michael continued, "My answer to attracting abundance and wealth effortlessly came to me many years ago. I was a struggling research academic. With barely 2 cents to rub together, I'd spent weeks without work sometimes in between research gigs for different colleges. I went to the same food bank I met you at earlier. Then one day I had a stroke of luck. Some temporary work came in. My college sent me on a cheap flight to Egypt to attend a conference. They needed someone to assist a senior professor with his research and presentation. I was glad of the free accommodation and free board, so they didn't have to ask me twice. While taking a much-needed break between speakers at the conference, and in a desperate attempt to get out of the searing heat, I made my way into a side alley bookshop. I'd been in many bookshops in my time, but this time something was different. I felt a kind of excitement tingling inside me. I could not put my finger on. The store was full of thousands of old dusty books, but one book in particular stood out for me. The spine of the book looked different, much older than the rest. I was immediately drawn to it and carefully picked it up. It was clear it was extremely old. But how old? That was the exciting part for me. I felt a rush of excitement run through my body. As I flicked through the pages, I saw a number of different pictures of Egyptian symbols and gods. There were depictions of ancient Egyptian serpents. There was Ankh, the ancient Egyptian symbol for life and immortality. And there were many drawings of the Eye of Horus, known as the Eye of Ra, known to others as the Third Eye. I thought to myself, could this dusty old book be, it couldn't be, a complete version of the Divine Pymander, an ancient Egyptian book on Hermeticism, and believed to be a vital lost part of the Hermetic tradition? The missing parts of the Divine Pymander were widely accepted to have been lost when the ancient Library of Alexandria was destroyed 2,000 years ago. What's Hermeticism? I said. Glad you asked, said Michael. Hermeticism is the original ancient knowledge of all things related to mysticism and manifestation. It's widely considered to be the first knowledge ever written down on these subjects. Its roots go all the way back to the teachings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure. Hermes Trismegistus was considered to be the wisest man who ever lived, an avatar from God. Hermeticism is the original thought behind any manifestation texts or methods you hear about today, including alchemy, astrology, the Kabbalah, and Christian mysticism. The original Hermeticism texts were the first texts to talk about one divine creator as the source from which we can all manifest. Hermes wrote, "These words of wisdom, although written by my decaying hand, shall remain imperishable throughout time. May they be imbued with the medicine of immortality." Hermes had a massive influence on alchemy, astrology, numerology, and manifestation. Even in modern science as we know it today, Isaac Newton, for one, wrote extensively on Hermetic subjects and had a strong interest in alchemy. He was reported to have said, "Hermeticism holds profound secrets about our mind's connection to the universe." Hermeticism is how to connect to higher realms and match your frequency to the reality you want to experience. To live a fuller, happier, more meaningful life. The Divine Pymander was considered to be the ultimate missing book of Hermeticism. And the missing parts of this ancient book were said to teach the practical principles of how to manifest our desires and dreams into reality. Needless to say, once I had this book with the missing text in my hands, I hurried up to the counter, agreed a price, and rushed back to my hotel. I pored over the book later that night in my hotel room, combing over all its incantations, diagrams, and instructions. The incantations and magic symbols in the book were mind-blowing. I shared my findings with the heads of my department, who were as excited as I was with this rare find. Their research did indeed find later on that it was in fact a complete version of the Divine Pymander. I was tasked with researching it further, which I was more than happy to do. Many late nights and countless weekends were spent poring over the ancient book, disappearing various hieroglyphics and inscriptions, translating its long passages. The core principles of the text all related to one idea that kept recurring. It was all about the interconnectedness of our minds and the universe, encapsulated in the Hermetic principle, as above, so below. In other words, everything we want to manifest comes down to how well we can connect our thoughts with the universe above. And according to this complete version of the Divine Pymander, the ultimate bridge for this gap is words. But not just any words, or silly affirmations that you hear about from some so-called manifestation gurus, but rather ancient words that were written in the Divine Pymander. Words to open up our minds to connect with the universe. One particular script in the ancient text, next to the drawings of the god Horus and his third eye, talked about connecting our minds to the universe to manifest what we desire. The university heads wanted to test this script out in their neuroscience department, so I submitted my research to them and worked with the neuroscience department for a number of weeks. I was not prepared for what happened next. On the brain imagery scan of the test groups, their pineal glands became clearer and showed less calcification or blockages of their pineal glands after hearing the ancient manifestation script. The pineal gland is a small gland in the middle of the forehead, known as the third eye. What was really interesting is that the divine Pymander had pictures of the Egyptian god Horus with the third eye or pineal gland in the middle of his forehead. The core principle of Hermeticism is connecting the mind to the universe, so we can manifest what we desire. And this small pine cone-sized gland in the brain is said to be responsible for your ability to connect your mind with the divine and receive abundance from the divine. The famous thinker and philosopher Descartes called the pineal gland the seat of the soul and the center of all we create. I learned from my research, though, that for most people, the pineal gland is programmed with certain limitations. Hermeticism believed these limitations come from generational curses. Modern science is now confirming this idea with books like The Body Keeps the Score, which talks about generational genetics. In other words, patterns or limitations that get passed down through the genes. I learned that limitations and curses can be cleared from the pineal gland with the right intervention. The pineal gland can then be reprogrammed to connect your mind to the universe to manifest what you desire. A clear pineal gland is the key to attracting wealth and good fortune. If you've struggled to see your thoughts or desires manifest into reality, it's more than likely because of a blocked pineal gland. Negative financial experiences leave marks on our genetics and our pineal glands and get passed on to the next generation. And financial struggle then gets passed from one generation to the next, which blocks our pineal gland's ability to connect our mind with the universe and receive abundance from the universe. It became clear that's why there was such an emphasis on images of the god Horus and his large, clear third eye on pyramid walls I had researched. And in the ultimate missing Hermeticism text inside this complete version of the divine Pymander. It's probably why there is a pine-shaped cone that's a replica of a pineal gland outside one of the wealthiest institutions on Earth, the Vatican. It also made sense to me how a simple script from previously missing parts of the divine Pymander could help clear the pineal gland and help people attract abundance in all its forms. Words and the vibrations they created were used in ancient Egypt to create a bridge from our intentions to the universe. And to get the universe to manifest our intentions, Egyptian language itself was considered sacred, with certain words were believed to possess magical or protective sounds. Sacred chants, hymns, and prayers were recited or sung during rituals to manifest different wishes. The vibrations and rhythms created by these words were believed to have spiritual significance, helping to connect worshipers with the divine, and to ask the divine for help to manifest wishes in the material world. On closer examination in the neuroscience lab, we discovered the words from the script in the divine Pymander produced a 528 Hz frequency when listened to, a frequency some refer to today as the love tone or miracle tone. Science has shown that 528 Hz tone can promote healing, bring about positive transformations, and yes, even repair or change DNA. It made sense now how the script was clearing the pineal glands of test subjects. The 528 Hz frequency resonates at the heart of everything in the universe and has the power to heal and transform. That's what they believed in ancient Egypt. In my research, I found the Egyptian pyramids were based on principles related to sound and resonance. I found these structures were built to harness or amplify specific frequencies, including 528 Hz for spiritual or energetic purposes. People always ask how we built the pyramids, but that's the wrong question. A better question is, why we built them. Many researchers now think the pyramids were built to harness the sound frequency of 528 Hz for healing and manifestation. It enabled the pharaohs to amass more wealth than anyone today, including the top billionaires. I got reports back saying the test subjects were feeling incredible after listening to recordings of the script. They had more energy and focus. Many were also experiencing levels of good fortune they had never experienced before. Lucky opportunities were coming into their lives. They were winning money on lotto scratch cards, and one even had a sizable lotto win. New opportunities and incredibly fortunate events were happening for them. This was incredible news to me. I wanted to know more. But then something very strange happened. I was told my work at the university was done. What about my research, the book? The manifestation script, I demanded? Well, what book? What research? Was the answer from my supervisor. I was reeling in shock. After asking around a bit, I found the whole operation had been shut down, practically overnight. And the book? Gone, vanished. Along with my job and my career, as I was told my services were no longer needed. Gutted and betrayed. I later found out through a close friend in the department that the research had been flagged by a powerful agency. They wanted to take control of the research. One of the academics that protested mysteriously disappeared that month. He told me my supervisor was scared out of his mind. That's why he canceled the whole project. That's why he canceled my career. I was furious, but it made sense. Powerful people don't like the idea of the regular public having more power than them. Powerful organizations controlled by the elites make the rules for the average Joe. And they don't like people getting control of information that can help them manifest money. Or anything else for that matter. Otherwise, what would happen to the banks which are built on lending people money for cars and homes and just getting by? And enslaving people in debt, that would collapse overnight. My research had also looked briefly into how elites that control the water supply introduced fluoride in the water many years ago that was blocking people's pineal glands. Most of the music promoted on the radio waves and even 5G also works to block the 528 Hz universal love tone that clears and heals our pineal gland and keeps it open to receive divine blessings. So they keep the population dumbed down and in slave mode while they control everything. A population like this who have lost their connection to their ability to connect with the universe and the divine is more controllable. It's why the elites at the 1% economic conferences can get away with telling people, you will own nothing and you will be happy. It's why scripts like the one from the Divine Commander have been spotted at certain Bilderberg conferences where the elites decide the fate of the rest of us. I had lost everything though, and I owned nothing, that was for sure. My job, my research, my security, my future. I did have one thing left though. That was a copy of the page containing the ancient manifestation script from the Divine Commander. I had made copies of it to study at home outside of the research facility. This copy of the manifestation script turned out to be my savior. I used it to make myself wealthy, to create the life of my dreams, to take care of my family and my friends. The manifestation script saved my life, opened up my pineal gland, and helped me to connect with the divine so I could manifest what I needed. Now I wanted to do the same for you. He handed me a memory stick with the manifestation script recorded on it. It takes just 7 minutes to listen to. I've had an incredible life. My main wish these days is to find someone to pass this script on to. I'm still worried after my research was shut down before. I can't go public with this ancient script. But you can. That was the end of Michael's story. I wasn't sure what to think. I thought he might be full of it. Michael continued, "What I'm about to tell you, I have never shared with anyone before. Our pineal glands have been blocked for centuries from connecting with the universe and the divine. You now have a chance to connect with the divine and transform your life and the lives of countless others." I thanked Michael for his help and his kindness and told him I would be in touch. I went back to my car that night and listened to the script. As I listened, something strange happened. It was like my mind was experiencing more peace than ever before. Like all the pieces of my broken mind were coming together like a jigsaw. I fell asleep that night and hoped for the best. Based on everything I had learned, it had to work. It didn't. The next morning, I woke up to a loud banging sound on my car window. "You can't park here, Mornidini," the cop said. "You gotta move this car or we're gonna impound it." "Move it or lose it," he said. "You've got 48 hours. But I couldn't move it. The engine had given out a month ago, and I had no money for repairs. I couldn't believe it. I was about to lose the only place I had to sleep. And this cop couldn't care less. I felt a rage building up inside. So this is what comes from listening to manifestation scripts from ancient Egypt. I felt like an idiot. Like I'd been taken for a fool. When I returned to my car that night, I looked at the recording of the script Michael gave me and thought I've nothing to lose. I listened to it again and again that night, carefully paying more attention to the words. This time I petitioned the universe for the wealth and abundance I wanted to come into my life. And then I fell into a deep sleep. The next morning I woke up to the sound of my phone ringing. As my eyes opened, it hit me. This is my last day in the car. They are going to impound me today. The hopelessness was overwhelming. I answered. It was my old boss calling. What the hell did he want? It turned out they owed me money. They had miscalculated my overtime rate for the past 4 years, and accounting had picked it up in an audit. I was owed $12,976. I know that's not a lot of money for many, but it was life-changing for me. I can't tell you how overjoyed I felt. That was more than enough for me to get back on my feet and put a deposit down on an apartment. I continued to listen to the manifestation script every night after that, asking for continued abundance to come into my life. A little while later, I got an official-looking letter delivered to my apartment. It was a legal letter. My heart jumped for a second. What kind of trouble was I in? No trouble at all, as it turned out. It informed me that an aunt of mine had died and had left me over $75K. What's weird is that we barely knew each other. She was just a vague memory from childhood, and there were 13 other family members she could have left the money to. When I came to collect the money, I learned something very strange. She had only changed her will in the 2 months previous. At the exact same time, I was receiving the manifestation script from Michael. This was miraculous. You can't imagine how powerful I felt at that moment. But in the back of my mind, I had a concern it could all just be blind luck. It wasn't. I took some of the inheritance I had got and tripled it in crypto. A chance meeting with someone who heard about my success led to a small investment from me in his new startup. I knew pretty much nothing about business, but had a good gut feeling about the guy. And I had money already, so had very little to lose. 6 months later, I made my investment back 50 times over. It seemed like opportunities kept snowballing the more I listened to my manifestation script. I didn't recognize my own life. I had to pinch myself. A few months before, I was sleeping in my car. Unable to afford a cup of coffee, now I was making money from a business I knew nothing about. I started dating again and manifested my dream woman. She's incredible in every way, so kind and loyal. I heard later from some mutual friends that my ex Linda was really jealous. Steve had left her for another woman. She even tried texting and calling, looking to get back together. But I realize now that the manifestation script had cleared my pineal gland and purified and heightened the vibration I was putting out into the universe. We were no longer a vibrational match or a match on any level. I wished her the best and forgave her. After all, anger only hurts the soul that carries it. I had a new purpose in life: to spread the word about this manifestation script, to get it into the hands of those who needed it most. I called it the Pomander Script in honor of the lost book it was written in that changed my life. One of the first things I did was to order 75 thick crust pepperoni pizzas and send them down to the food bank every 2 days. Inside each pizza box, I put a recording of the Pomander Script for people to listen to. I also put an email contact in there. A flood of emails came in over the next few months from those who had listened to the Pomander Script. Many of them were now off the street, attracting money effortlessly. Many had also found themselves clear of alcohol and substance abuse problems. I started sharing it more with people I knew who were struggling. One of those people was Carl, a friend of mine from my old sales job. He was now selling solar panels door to door. He was told it was a growth area, but he was struggling to make it work for him. He was on the verge of getting fired for poor sales when I instructed him to listen to the Pomander Script. After just 1 week of listening, he broke a company record for sales in the business. 3 months after that, they offered him a share in the business, and he's now a partner and making multiple 6 figures. I then shared the script with a close friend, Sarah. She was a fine art painter, but had always struggled to sell any of her work. She was almost like I was and nearly on the street a few times. She was that short of money. After 2 weeks of listening to the Pymander script, her life turned upside down in a good way. She was given a spot at a leading gallery show and sold all her work in one night. She was then commissioned by 2 famous millionaires to do pieces for them. They both paid 6-figure sums. Suffice to say, she's never been happier. Then there was Georgina, another friend of mine who always struggled to find a man to settle down with. Most men just wanted short-term flings, and she always felt used by them. After using the script for 7 days, a new man came into her life. He was handsome, caring, and fun to be with. 3 months later, she got married. And 6 months after that, she got incredible news from her doctor. She was pregnant with a beautiful baby girl. The most precious gift from God. As all these success stories came flooding in, I kept in touch with Michael, keeping him up to date with what was going on. "You are doing wonderful work here," he said. "I had a feeling about you when I first met you. The script is cleansing people's pineal glands and detoxifying them from harmful programming or generational curses about money, love, and health, restoring their connection to the divine or the universe and its limitless abundance source. Blocked pineal glands and the lower vibration blocked energy it sends out to the universe is the main reason people are unable to manifest the kind of reality they want. The pineal gland is the ultimate center of higher consciousness and vibrational sensitivity. The more open and clear your pineal gland, the more clear your vibration will be. The more you will connect with the divine, and the more lucky coincidences, people, and fortunate events that flow into your life. Michael even suggested we do more brain scans again on a sample group of the people I had shared the script with. Sure enough, they are showing healthy, clear pineal glands. Their brains also looked 20 years younger on the scan. It was almost like their brains had aged in reverse. Many subjects reported feeling more focused, energetic, happier, and more peaceful. They also found their cognitive power increasing. Many saw their IQ levels jumping 10-15 points. Michael asked me to spread the word further about the Pymander script. I was more than happy to help, and the internet was the best way for me to spread the message about the script. I set up a small online company and started to distribute the script to those who needed it. The script is super easy to use. As easy as 1, 2, 3. There are no affirmations, meditations, or vision boards to work with. No hours spent trying to change your brainwaves. All that's needed is for you to listen to the Pymander script once daily. It takes just 7 minutes. That's all. It's as easy as falling off a log. No effort is involved. Unfortunately, I have a few staff members and overheads, so it does take some money to keep distributing the recordings of this script. But I'm not interested in making profits. Almost 100% of the money goes back into the business again. My main focus is on spreading the word about this script and the transformations it can create in people's lives. But just a quick word of warning. After a few months of distributing the script, we started to get some unwanted attention from the wrong kind of people. The kind of elites who had destroyed Michael's career and thought they had silenced knowledge of this ancient script forever. Our site was hacked and we received some anonymous calls that sent shivers down our spines. And I don't need to tell you why. The 1%ers and the tiny group within that group that control everything and own nothing. The people who pull the puppet strings do not want this getting out there. They want to keep being the 1% that controls 99% of the wealth. They do not want that to change. So I'm not sure how long this site will be up for. You need to act today and not be disappointed or feel like you missed out on this life-changing opportunity. I feel it's my mission from the universe to keep spreading the word about the Pymander script, in spite of any threats, worry, or stress I experience. Because this is about more than money for me. If it was just about money, I'd keep this to myself and generate wealth just for me, or sell the script for 10 kelas to any one of hundreds of millionaires or high earners who want to keep expanding their incomes. But they don't need this. They are already rich. I've no interest in helping the wealthy become super wealthy. I want to help people like you, people who really need this in their lives. All I need is enough to keep the operation up and running. Priced down to just $37. I can keep it there for a while, and you still get the amazing Pymander script. If you're watching this right now, that price of $37 is still available. I am focused on spreading the word about it to as many people as possible while keeping costs at a minimum. $37 is not even the price of a tank of gas or a good meal in a good restaurant. And you can have plenty of those expensive meals in the future if that's what you want. Listening to the Pymander script opens up your pineal gland so you can create the connection with the universe you were meant to have. Where the universe is on your side. Where the universe hears your needs and wants and makes your wishes come true. Hit the instant access below now and claim your Pymander script to listen to today. After you hit instant access, you will be taken to a secure payment page. We have spent a fortune on security so your payment details are protected at all times. You will be protected by the exact same 256-bit encryption that Amazon uses. Hit the instant access button right now and claim your Pymander script today. You are making a risk-free decision here. I hate for anyone to feel pressured, so you have 60 days to simply try out the Pymander script to make sure it's right for you. If for any reason or no reason during that period you feel it's not for you, anytime in the next 60 days, simply shoot me an email and you will be refunded immediately. No questions asked. So you have absolutely nothing to lose here today. But wait, there's more. Take action today, as in right now. Hit the instant access button and get the following fast action bonuses absolutely free. The Warren Buffett Wealth Guide. Most people who get wealthy have trouble holding on to it. 70% of lotto winners go broke in the first 2 years. That's why this guide from the world's greatest investor is perfect for Pymander script customers. This instantly downloadable guide distills Warren's teaching into 3 simple principles you can use to accumulate more wealth and hold on to it. You will also get Manifest Your Perfect Future. This amazing infographic will remind you of the core principles involved in creating your ideal day. Some people attract all the money they need, but fail to create a future that is meaningful and joyful to them. The stunning infographic will remind you of the core principles to follow to always create your perfect future. The third fast action bonus today is Awaken Your Inner Psychic. We all have inbuilt psychic abilities. These abilities are particularly accessible to us once our third eye is clear. You can use these psychic abilities to spot unfortunate events down the road before they become a problem so you can avoid them. Or you can use your powers for healing, reading auras, or lucid dreaming. All these fast action bonuses have a combined value of over $347. And you are getting them all today for free for just saying maybe to the Pymander script. Remember, all the risk is still on my shoulders. And get to keep the Pymander script and all bonuses if you want to refund at any time in the next year. I can't say any fairer than that. While other people are working away like slaves for bosses they hate or find themselves stuck in gridlock traffic every day, you can have clear connection with the universe to potentially deliver everything you ever dreamed of. Money could flow into your life like an unstoppable river. Love, romance, and connection could appear at last in your life, even if you've been alone or felt alone for such a long time. Imagine feeling focused, healthy, and bursting with vitality and energy every day. A word of caution, though. I hope and trust you will use the Pymander script for good to help yourself, your family, your community, to live a good life. This is not just about accumulating wealth. It's about making an impact on the world around you, a positive impact people will feel long after we are gone. Listening to the Pymander script for 21 days is all it takes most people to experience a miraculous change in their lives. 21 is an interesting number here. Harvard research shows that 21 days is how long it takes most people to change a dominant thought about themselves or create a new habit. I hear from people after 21 days whose lives have been transformed by this script. Like Jenny, who was stuck in an unhappy, abusive relationship with a narcissist for years. After listening to the Pymander script, she finally found the strength to break free from her partner. She now has a thriving craft business and has met someone kind and loving. Or Stephen, who was looked over for promotion for years in his company. 1 month of listening to the Pymander script was all it took to change his fortune when promotion and a massive pay rise came out of the blue. Julie hated her life. She hated how life had unfolded. She now runs one of the most successful Etsy stores in the world. It was going nowhere before listening to the Pymander script, and now she can barely keep up with the orders. These are stories of breaking free from poverty and despair and fulfilling your divine right to abundance. You are at the same point now that all these people faced in their lives. You are at a fork in the road right now. You could take the road of doing nothing here. But ask yourself, if you do nothing, where will you be a week, month, or even a year from now? You know, and I know. In the same place, you are right now, most likely. Nothing will change. Most likely, if you are struggling with something like money right now, you will continue to struggle. And problems tend to get worse. Don't leave that kind of negative legacy for your family. The other road today is a no-brainer. Take a risk-free decision to claim your Pymander script and transform your life in the coming weeks. Let the money you deserve come flooding into your life. Let the health and love you deserve come rushing in. Think about the security you will be building for yourself and your family. A simple risk-free decision here can erase your debts and rewrite your history. Games of chance like a trip to the races or that casino will be a whole different experience. Imagine the look on the faces of those people who doubted you, or the pride on the look of your family's faces. There are massive changes about to happen in the coming years. AI will slash the number of people in jobs. Over 300 million jobs will vanish according to Goldman Sachs. Now is your chance to protect yourself and your family. To experience an amazing future beyond your wildest imagination, hit the instant access button below now and get instant access to the Pymander script today.